we are witnessing seismic shifts in global trade that present both challenges as well as opportunities in the reordering of the global economy. There is a shift from a unipolar to a multipolar world. This moment is marked by intensifying global competition and growing geopolitical tensions. Unilateral tariff actions are contributing to an increasingly protectionist environment, which poses great hardships and danger for the countries of the Global South. The uncertainty of the new trading regime has already negatively affected employment levels in my own country, South Africa, and is an obstacle to our economic growth. We are therefore supportive of meaningful BRICS initiatives that improve the resilience of our economies as BRICS countries and those of the Global South, and also strengthen the global multilateral system. Our vision is of Africa that is the beating heart of global trade, engaging the world not as a mere exporter of raw materials, but as a creator of value, a connector of regions and a catalyst for shared prosperity. South Africa, therefore, reaffirms its support for the reform initiative that is being spearheaded at the WTO level. But we also say BRICS countries must participate in championing the reforms that must take place at the WTO level. We must redouble our efforts to ensure that trade supports development. Global trade must work for all of us. The challenges humanity faces today underscores the urgency of reform of the United Nations to ensure that it is inclusive, representative, and fit for purpose. BRICS has taken decisions in this regard, and we have in many ways been at the forefront of advocating the reform of multilateral institutions. The progress and economic dynamism of emerging economies is being undermined by disruption and chaos. New shocks to global trade patterns, international financing and critical mineral flows, along with intensification of problems created by sovereign debt overhang and imbalanced tax regimes are creating uncertainties for policymakers, consumers, and companies. As BRICS, we need to reflect on our role in shaping global growth, addressing global poverty, and championing multilateralism. We should use our growing voice to advance a global order that improves the lives of the world's people and safeguard the planet for future generations. And let us shape a new paradigm of multilateral cooperation anchored in equity, sustainability, and development, but also anchored in peace. And that is why, as South Africa, we support the call by Brazil for the ceasefire that should happen in Gaza, and also ensuring, as President Sisi of Egypt has said, we should all support the two-state solution and ensure that the people of Palestine do have peace and do have a state that will stand amongst all other states in the world, independent, with self-determination underpinning their status. We need to unlock scaled-up finance for the needs of the Global South and catalyze investments in early warning systems, resilient infrastructure, community-led adaptation, and people-centered just transition pathways. In recent months, we've been in firefighting mode as we deal with disruption and chaos. We need to pivot from crisis management to strategic action, from emergency fixes to collective growth and development. I strongly believe that when BRICS countries unite in solidarity to co-create solutions, we unlock tangible mutual benefits for BRICS members and the broader global South. Let us conclude the BRICS Economic Partnership Strategy 2030 and focus on its implementation. Let us demonstrate how consensus is built through negotiation and not through coercion. Compromise and trade-offs are the foundation of mutually beneficial outcomes that tangibly improve the lives of our citizens. Let us undertake all these important actions together in a spirit of partnership and solidarity.
The Global South has the conditions to propose another paradigm for development and to refuse a new Cold War. The Indian chairmanship in the future of the BRICS meeting will count for the full support of Brazil to these ideals. The G20 summit under the chairmanship of South Africa will also be an important space for broad dialogue about the possible roles that we can follow for the international order. Unilateralism will never conduct us to reach the achievements of peace, justice, and prosperity that our predecessors designed in 1845. The BRICS is already a new name of the defense of multilateralism.
As we speak, transformation unseen in a century is accelerating across the world. Hegemonism, unilateralism, and protectionism are getting more and more rampant. Trade wars and tariff wars waged by some countries severely disrupt the world economy and undermine international trade rules. At this critical juncture, BRICS countries, standing at the forefront of the Global South, should act on the BRICS spirit of openness, inclusiveness, and win-win cooperation, jointly defend multilateralism and the multilateral trading system, advance greater BRICS cooperation, and build a community with a shared future for humanity. We should uphold openness and win-win cooperation to safeguard the international economic and trade order. Economic globalization is an irresistible trend of history. Countries cannot thrive without an international environment of open cooperation, and no country can afford to retreat to self-imposed isolation. No matter how the international landscape may evolve, we must stay committed to building an open global economy so as to share opportunities and achieve win-win outcomes in openness. We should uphold the multilateral trading system with the World Trade Organization at its core and oppose all forms of protectionism. We should promote a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization, place development at the heart of our international agenda, and ensure that Global South countries participate in international cooperation as equals and sharing the fruits of development. We should leverage our respective strengths, deepen practical cooperation, and make our business, financial, scientific, and technological cooperation more productive so as to strengthen the foundation, momentum, and impact of greater BRICS cooperation and deliver more practical benefits to our peoples. President Luna referred to the Ukraine crisis and the conflict in Gaza. I agree with Brazil's position, as I'm sure we are all united on these matters.
Today, the international landscape is plunged in flagrant dualism in terms of double standards, blatant violations to the provisions of the international law with extreme indifference and without accountability, in light of systemic impunity and worrying escalation of unilateral conflicts and measures of protectionism. Such degradation undermines the foundations of international peace and security, takes humanity back to chaos, and the absence of law